Hello CFC family, I hope you're all well and having the most amazing day so far. Today I want to continue talking about the fact that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I want to focus a bit on my favorite part of the human body, and that is the brain. So everybody knows that learning a new skill is extremely difficult. It's because there's no blueprint for the brain to follow. Like learning to write, every single muscle has to be in a perfect place, the position of the wrist, the amount of pressure you put on the paper, and just to make that perfect squiggle, it has to make sense. And it's so difficult, but the more and the more and the more you do it, the easier it gets, so that you can start thinking about what you're writing instead of how you are writing it. I know when you read what I write, it looks like that I'm still learning to write, but I promise you, it's because I'm thinking about what I'm writing and not about how I'm writing it. The same goes with learning how to drive a car. It's extremely difficult, but the more and more and more you do it, the easier it gets. Like now you can drive in traffic while listening to the radio, singing with the music, and also planning on what you're going to have for dinner and all of that, and still miraculously you make it home safely because you don't have to think about how to drive the car anymore. And the reason for that is the more and more and more you practice stuff, the more you do it, the brain forms these motor plans that when it realizes it needs this specific set of actions and movements for a specific job it needs to do, it just fetches that motor plan automatically and you don't have to consciously think about it. I like to think about it as like walking through a forest. The first time you have to go through the forest, it's extremely difficult. There's branches, you have to get out of the way, you have to clear the road, all of those things. But the more and more you walk on that road, the clearer it gets and the easier it gets to walk from A to B. The same applies to your thoughts. It's very easy for us to become negative and despondent when something bad happens. And so when something we deem bad happens, we have negative thoughts about it. That comes along with negative emotions. And whenever something similar happens again, or you see someone that reminds you of that, all those negative emotions and stuff keeps on flooding in. And that's because we keep on thinking negatively. The word says in Romans 12 verse 2, "And do not be conformed by this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." It goes on to say in Philippians 4 verse 8, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things." So what we should do whenever we see something bad, we must make the conscious decision of having good and pure thoughts and not to be negative about something. I know it might be difficult, but the more you do it and the more you practice it, the easier it becomes, until that too becomes automatic, and that you will have good thoughts and a good day and just feel positive about every situation that you're in. That will become your automatic response to anything that happens to you. I want to end off today by reading one of my favorite poems, and whenever I read it, it almost sounds like a prayer. So I'm going to read it today as a prayer. It was written by E. Cummings, and it goes like this. "I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and a blue true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I who have died am alive again today, and this is the sun's birthday. This is the birthday of life and of love and wings and of the gay, great, happening, illimitably earth. How should tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, breathing, any, lifted from the know of all nothing, human merely being, doubt, unimaginably you? Now the ears of my ears awake, and now the eyes of my eyes are opened." Amen. Have a great day, everybody.